Well, Laura Neill, thank you so much for joining me
Thank
today.
you.
Now, the name of your organization is Sanctuary Intervention
Sanctuary Intervention Services.
Service. Okay, wonderful.
Mhm.
And so tell me a little bit about what types of resources you offer.
I am an interventionist and I've forgotten what the letters are, certified recovery coach. So I work with families to help their loved one to find the appropriate kind of treatment for their loved one, help them prepare for the intervention. And then I can also work with the families afterwards. As we know, addiction is a family disease. And so, everybody has something that they need to work on. And statistics have shown that when someone comes out of treatment, if they are coming back to a family unit where everyone is speaking the language of recovery, then they have a much better chance of getting into long-term treatment without a relapse. So I work with them to kind of figure out what's going on, what sort of patterns aren't necessarily real healthy, and so that everybody is getting healthier. And then on the back end of it, after someone gets out of treatment, I offer recovery coaching. When somebody gets out of treatment, ideally they're going to have a therapist, a sponsor, and a recovery coach that is going to help them through the day-to-day things that can really trip somebody up, even if they aren't on wobbly, newly sober legs. Like finding a new job, finding housing, some folks, writing a resume, a lot of those life skills that, and finding those resources that can really be overwhelming on a good day.
So a lot of case management services.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. People need that. So why would someone need an interventionist? Why not just call a treatment center and say, hey, I need to go to treatment?
I think there are, what I see repeatedly is families don't know how to have that conversation. They think they've had that conversation, and maybe there's a better way to have that conversation. It's not a pleasant thing to have to do, and there's a lot of particularly families where this has been a discussion over and over and over again. They need some guidance to try a different way. And sometimes it's just having somebody in there who is a neutral body, and the person of concern does not know how to push their buttons. Or just they really mean it this time. They've hired somebody. Can really, change the tone. But I think, the stories I've heard and, things that I've been involved with, there is a process. We know what works. And I think a lot of folks, there are a lot of misconceptions about that are shaming and those types of things that can get involved, and you're really heated and everybody's scared. And that's not the way to do this. This really isn't a DIY kind of process.
Right. It's not like what you see on television, which is scripted and very, very dramatic. And so I've done my share of interventions as well. And so way I see it is it's a great support for families. It's, it's a great education opportunity. And then, helping them to define what their bottom lines are. And, one of the things that I can say from my own experience is that I was great at setting boundaries, but I had a real hard time holding them. And
Yeah.
so I think that's true of most people.
Hmm.
And so, with a service like yours, you're there to help people define, and not just define what their boundaries are, but really look at ways that they can hold them so they can be prepared.
Right. Right.
And that's huge. That's very huge.
Yeah,
So,
I had a conversation recently about it is okay and it is perfectly appropriate to hold someone accountable for their behavior and still love them. That just because you want someone to go to treatment because they are using or just, whatever the situation is, you can still hold them accountable and still love them. That you don't have, that enabling is not love,
right.
is part of it. And giving people permission to um, not be polite. We are Southerners, and that's kind of our thing. You don't rock the boat. I grew up in that kind of household,
Right.
which is why I'm in this business. Um, and it's okay if your person gets angry at you. It's probably at some point in your life, the two of you gotten angry at each other before and survived it, and it's okay. We're going to get through that.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
So, what's the best way to reach out to you if someone needs an interventionist? So, how do they do that? Do you have a phone number, a website?
I'm still working on my website.
Okay.
I finally have a college student to help me. And
I
uh,
understand. That's what it takes.
uh, and my phone number is area code 601-951-7217. That is a confidential voicemail. And just leave a message and I will call you right back. I also have um, a Facebook page that is Sanctuary Intervention Services, and I'm getting better about updating that. But
Okay.
that's another way to reach out, is you can message me through that.
Very good. Well, I'm so happy that you had time to meet with me today, and I'm looking forward to making sure that people are plugged into your resource. And I know, you and I have worked together
Yeah.
previously, and we've helped someone get to treatment, somebody who was really against going to treatment, but you worked your
It was
magic.
spicy.
Yeah. And that's not uncommon. I mean, there's a lot of fear involved with making such a tremendous change. And so, I mean, you did what you do, and I know the family was very pleased, as was I.
Yeah.
And so it's always great to have strong partnerships,
Mhm.
and to know the right people to reach out to. So I'm grateful to have known you were the right one to reach out to. So
Thank
thank
you.
you for what you do, and we will certainly do our utmost to ensure that more people reach out to you when need be.
Great. Thank you so much. I
Thank you,
appreciate you.
Laura.